Hi guys, so I was quickly making, and I say quick because it's really quick, a raised flower bed. We have gophers, so I have a bunch of stuff in pots, but I got rid of him for about a month, maybe a month and a half, and I just noticed a little baby one popping up the other day, and he's so tiny, so I have not been able to get him yet. So this is chicken wire. Now chicken wire has a little bit larger openings. This is 1 inch chicken wire. It's 2 feet by 25 feet. I got it at Home Depot. It's only like 12 or 13 bucks. And I use that to make baskets so I can actually put a lime and a tangerine in the ground. And all I did was kind of double it over itself. That way the spacing, the openings would be smaller so that a gopher can't really get through. Because like a 1 inch with that little baby gopher I've been seeing, he can get it through there. So I just want you to see. And I didn't do a video on it because it's not the biggest deal, but just fold it over on itself so as you can see maybe that the spacing is a lot closer. And this is going into the ground at least like 10 inches. And then I put a bottom on it just with the same stuff, doubled it over, made sure it made like a basket, and then I got my tree in there. And things have been fine, I hope. I mean, the tree looks fine. It's been there a few days. And as you can see, I mean, there's lots of gopher holes. This little guy is making some mess, wreaking havoc here. So I just got this raised flower bed. So all this is some cheap, what wood did I tell you? I don't know the name of the wood. Let me see if it says it on the sticker. I just wanted something cheap to see if it works. Okay, it's fir from Home Depot. It's a 10-foot plank. I think it's an inch and a half wide or something. I don't know. I just had them cut it for me at 7 feet, so it made 2 7-foot planks and 2 3-foot, right? Because I got 2 10-foot planks and they just cut it for me. All I did was have my husband here make some starter holes. I drilled two galvanized screws through there, 2-inch screws. I got some stakes just to make it nice and sturdy once I get it in the ground. And then on the top, well, this is actually the bottom because I'm going to flip it over. On this part, I'm going to put this hardware cloth. Now this stuff is not cheap. I didn't know. The guy was helping me out. He's like, oh, you know, take this. And I went up to the front. It was like $40. So there's 25 feet of it. I'm only going to use in this one bed. So there's going to be plenty left for some other thing, but another project, but it's really heavy. And I was even thinking about doubling this up with some chicken wire too. Put this down, put the chicken wire, because this gauge is kind of small, 23 gauge. So I don't know that gophers can chew through stuff. I don't know, maybe they do. But I'm gonna try it out and see what happens. So we're gonna plant some, hopefully tomatoes, peppers. I wanna do edamame. My husband keeps saying no, I don't know why. They say it's easy to grow. Radishes, because they grow in 30 days and then they're kind of right on top of the soil anyway. And so after I use a staple gun, hopefully. Yes, my husband found a stapler. We have a stapler, like a heavy duty stapler. I'm just gonna lay this stuff across, staple it, and then if I have to double it over so that there's not like a huge gap, I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's 2 feet wide, I'm gonna lay it this way in 2 feet strips. So I'm gonna lay them over each other a little bit so that the gopher can't get through an opening, right? And then we're gonna flip it over and put it here where I've tilled the soil. That's another reason this soil is ridiculous. I don't know what's in here. I guess obviously I have these palm trees all over the place. And then on the other side there's a climbing fig, and I think that's what's making it crazy under here, because I can't, it's just ridiculous soil. It's really tough. There's all kinds of roots, and like fibrous roots, and that's not really how palms make roots, so I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, and then maybe I'll put some landscape cloth underneath it too. I'm not sure yet on that. This is cloth so that the water will still go through, nutrients will still come up and through, and the roots can dig their way through that too. I might put that down, I might not. But I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like, and maybe I'll come back with some pictures after we staple this stuff down. Alright guys, hopefully you can see this. So we turned it over. I did put some of that landscaping cloth. That's all good. You can weave these areas together if you wanted to with a little bit of, even the wire that came around, it's over there, around the chicken wire and all that, just to make it even harder for them to come through. But I think we're good, I mean, hopefully. So we're gonna fill this thing up with soil and native soil and get it going, and that's it. So hopefully that helps you out, guys, if you have gopher problems. But okay guys, so this is the finished flower bed. Well, it's not really finished. I'm gonna put some mulch that I need to go pick up, but hopefully you can hear me. I know there's traffic all over there, but in here in the front we put some radish seeds. My kids helped plant the carrots and edamame, and some of these things grow really fast, so that's kind of why I wanted these radishes to start going. They take about 30 days from sowing to eating them. We have jalapenos here. I have lunchbox mix of sweet peppers, not really sweet, but those little peppers that you can buy, I don't know, you can just snack on. That's a bell pepper. I'll pick up the camera and show you guys soon. A tomato that looked really sad when I planted him is a San Marzano, and he looks great today. So, you know, it's been hot. It's been 80 degrees. So they got put in the ground when it was about 80 degrees, even though it was in the evening. A Cherokee Purple and an Amish paste, or what is that? Yeah, Amish paste. So when those guys get taller, I'm gonna stick them to this trellis I put here that I only found for $8. It's awesome. I think I'm gonna buy another one from Home Depot. It folds up. I kind of like that better. You can put string beans on. You can do whatever you want with that one. I did buy this little pole over here too. So it's been set up for about 2 days now, and I have not seen any, well, gopher activity in there. So hopefully they're not coming up from the bottom. There is landscaping cloth underneath the thing, and of course that little wire netting that I put down there. But these little posts are Vigoro, and they're only like $1.30 at Home Depot. The only thing is it needs to be taller. They have taller ones for a tomato that's indeterminate. It's going to take off. And I thought, well, I can get it kind of over the fence. I'm sure that'd be kind of fun if people walking by there can grab some tomatoes. We do have a lot of even foot traffic back there. But yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, they're looking great. You can look up all kinds of videos about tomatoes and things like that. Basically, I plucked off the bottom this much of leaves and then buried that whole thing underneath because you want more root, because all that stem that will go down there will make more roots, so it'll be a nice strong plant. And then I'm just, you know, curious, waiting for these guys. This little guy, when I bought him, he had 2 bell peppers on it, and now he has even more. He had these 2. This one, sorry guys, oh, I'm just not gonna edit that out. My tripod's kind of crazy, so I had that guy, and this little guy started coming up, and then these little babies. So keep it watered, keep him hydrated. It says he wants full sun. I'm like, I'll give it to him. It's only gonna be 80 degrees here. Tomorrow's gonna be in the 60s again, high 60s. So, you know, they'll do just fine. But thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you got a little something from that. This is my other part of my gopher-proof stuff. And the guy at Home Depot actually asked me, he's all, have they eaten the leaves from your plants? And I'm like, do they come up and eat them? So these are high. These have been on the ground, and they've been in for over a week now, and they've been fine. They look like they need a little water. But other than that, they've been great. And I'm going to separate these out. That's too many. Those are all zucchinis for that one pot. I might end up putting some just in the ground, seeing what happens. These are my leftover jalapenos that I feel bad. I mean, it was cheaper to buy them in a 6-pack. It was $3 at my local nursery, so I might give some to the neighbors. I might put some in the ground just to see what happens. Maybe put one in that pot that's just full of weeds, you know. Find other homes for them. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope that helped out a little bit, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now. Guys, I'm back really quick because it just rained, and I realized there's a lot of different things I've done. Every day I'm changing something or a couple things. My husband, after I put up that garden bed, we also ran all the sprinklers, and out of all the house, the whole property, there's only 7 that need to be changed, and we hung little lights because there's not really lighting in the back here. But anyway, I replanted some different strawberries a different way because that one had too many runners, so I ran them into another little pot, and I'll just let those runners go. I'm not going to let every single runner it makes go because it's just not going to work. I repotted my zucchini, like I told you, because they're going to get huge, but I can't put them in ground, so I got really, really big pots for them. I'm not gonna get too close because I'm wearing my house slippers and it's wet, but I did tell you guys that I was gonna add the trellis back there or whatever for the tomatoes. I think I might have said that. And then the wood chips. So it's looking good. I added a raspberry back there, and then all the little extra guys, I put them in pots that I had random here and there. We also got some medium wood chip from our local supplier. I guess he makes topsoils and soils and landscaping stuff, and I guess the largest supplier in San Diego, or at least that's what he says. It's called Eastman, and it's right around the corner from here. So we had to take 4 truckloads of the chips and the potting soil and everything else that we got from him. It was pretty crazy, and they sell it by half yards and yards, and that's just a lot. But I did want to tell you, about half a yard, I had a bucket full, like a trash can full of the soil left. I didn't really tell you guys what I filled that with, I don't think. So that has some native soil, the garden bed, because I kind of wanted it to still have the earthworms and other good things that were in there. And the soil's really good here. I just can't use it. Other than that, I can't dig in some spots too because I don't know what's going on. Like I said, something is growing in there that makes it impossible to dig. But anyway, so it's half native. No, I would say a third native soil. And then the guy asked me what I would be planting. I said vegetables, and I told him what kind. And he said, okay, but only plant those things. He's kind of like a salt of the earth guy. I'm like, and I grew up with these kind of people, you know, living in the Central Valley. So I thought it was kind of funny because I was like, okay. He was very specific, and he wouldn't tell me what was in there. But I said, is there already compost in here? Yeah, that's in there. I said, okay. So at least I know that there's compost in there. I'm not gonna fertilize until it looks like they need fertilization. But I did add a little bit of vegetable fertilizer as I was going through, like tomato fertilizer, but just very little as I was planting them. But I just thought it was funny. He's just like, okay, but only put those. He's like, people start planting other things in there and they get upset. I'm like, okay, so what's in there that you can't put other things in it? I have no idea. It's good stuff. I did add a little bit of perlite in there because it is a raised bed. It's kind of like a pot, but not really. It's open on the bottom, as you guys know, except for that metal wire, because I want water to go through it. I want to encourage like worms to come up if they can, and I still want like the palms that are in between, or you know, around it, to get the water that they would normally get anyway, right, as the water goes through. That's what's happening with our water tables. Like, people are, you know, build these big cities, the water's not going back the way it should, all these different issues. And so that's kind of why I'm also just using compost and natural things. I don't want to add anything that's going to make the earth saltier. You know, it's just not good. So anyway, everything's looking great though. I mean, everything I planted, it's perked up or looks just as good as ever, and hopefully we'll get those little guys in, radishes and those guys coming up soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry I keep coming back. Oh, my figs are doing so great. I'm just excited. So everything's good. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.